Hey guys, welcome back to another pickups video, this time for the months of August and September of 2017. Two pretty busy months in terms of new releases. A lot of cool games have come out in these 2 months. So without further ado, I'm going to start with the new releases like I usually do. And the first of which, it shouldn't be a surprise for you guys that follow my channel. I'm a pretty big fan of this series and I just had to get this on day one. And of course I'm talking about Yakuza Kiwami, which is a remake of the first Yakuza game released on the PlayStation 2 over 10 years ago. So I was very grateful to Sega for bringing this to the West. And of course this is the, I guess, day one edition, which comes in a steelbook. We have a slip cover here that if you take it out, you can still see Haruka is there in the middle, and of course a pretty nice quality and solid steelbook with pretty nice designs. So pretty happy to get this on day one, and for only $30, that's the MSRP of this. Very happy with the price point, and this is a must-have obviously if you guys are a fan of the series, especially because this is a full-on remake. This is not an HD port or remaster or anything like that. This is a remake that uses the Yakuza 0 engine. Yeah, very excited to have picked this up. And in fact, I already beat this game. And I'm lagging a little bit behind with my impressions videos, but I expect to see my thoughts on this game pretty soon. But very happy to have this because I've never played the original PlayStation 2 game. And I think there's a leak that confirmed that Yakuza 2 Kiwami is also coming to the West, I think next year. So it's a pretty exciting time to be a Yakuza fan, especially now that we know that Yakuza 6 is also coming next year. Yeah, pretty exciting to be a Yakuza fan, and very fun game, and again, expect to see my impressions video sometime soon. And speaking of series that I really enjoy and enjoy playing, I also have to pick up Uncharted The Lost Legacy on day one. Now I do have an impressions video on this. I already did the game. Pretty short but sweet Uncharted experience. I really like how Naughty Dog is exploring the series with different characters here. Namely, you have Chloe. She's the main protagonist of the game. And yeah, I had a pretty fun time with this game. And if you want to hear my extended thoughts, go check out my impressions video. But this is your typical Uncharted game with the beautiful set pieces, cinematic graphics, and just an overall solid voice acting and just presentation, very Hollywood-esque in terms of presentation. So pretty short game but sweet experience, and I think the price point is very adequate for this game. You can I think the MSRP for this is only $40, so make sure you check this game out if you enjoy the Uncharted games, or any third-person shooter game for that matter. Continuing with the new releases and continuing with series that I really enjoy and love, I had to get this on day one as well. And of course we're talking about Metroid Return of Samus. Now this is the, what do you call it, I think it's the special edition. So I had to get this on day one because it was only a $10 increase on top of the regular version. And this came with a soundtrack CD, and that's about it. For some reason, I was almost certain that the game was going to come with like a mini art book, but that's not the case. And the cool thing about the soundtrack CD is that it's a selection of songs, but it's a pretty meaty. It has 25 songs from different Metroid games, ranging from the original Metroid to like the Super Nintendo, Metroid Prime games and whatnot. Pretty beautiful presentation on the CD, and like I said, it was only $10 more, so I figured might as well pre-order this and get it on day one. I have not played this game yet because I'm playing other games on the PS4 that I want to beat before I jump into this, but from the impressions that I've read from people that I trust, it seems like this is a fantastic game. And another cool thing here is that it came with this kind of like shiny cover. So I'm definitely looking forward to playing this game. I particularly love the 2D Metroid games over the 3D ones, and this should be a fun one, especially, again, the reviews are really good for this game, and the impressions from people that I trust are also excellent. So I cannot wait to delve into this game sooner than later. So pretty happy to have Metroid Samus Return. It's not Return of Samus. That was the I think the remake that guy did a couple of months ago. But Metroid Samus Returns, very happy to have that. And that's it. That's the end of my new releases. I know there were a lot of other games that I really wanted to get, such as East 8, the Mario and Rabbids games on the Switch. A pretty big number of new releases that I really wanted to get, but I'm playing other games, and I really try to limit what I get on day one and what I didn't get on day one. And this was pretty efficient because out of the 3 new releases that I got, I already beat 2 of them. And Samus Returns shouldn't be too much of a longer game, so whenever I jump on that, I think it's supposed to be like a 12-hour game, so pretty much looking forward to that. And to bridge you know, to the next section of my pickups video, of course, I'm going to show the Amiibos that I got. And I was lucky enough to get these guys right here, because I think shortly after the pre-order ended, or the pre-order got open, they were sold out. But man, I have to tell you guys, these 2 Amiibos right here are one of the best. The amount of detail that you see in the figures it's just amazing. So I'm very happy to have these Amiibos in here. I don't really care about the functionality that they have with the Samus Return 3DS game. And as you guys know, I open my Amiibos and put them on the shelf and whatnot, but I'm seriously considering just leaving these guys in the box just because they look so good. The box and everything, the package itself, it just looks beautiful. So I'm very happy to get the 2 Amiibos, Samus Aran there and the Metroid figure. They're pretty cool looking. So yeah, very happy to have this on my collection, and I don't know if I'm going to open them or not. And I guess I kind of lied when we're talking about new releases. This is, I guess, a old new release. Pretty hard to catalog this, but I was able to get a Super Nintendo Classic Edition, or the mini Super SNES, whatever. Yeah, pretty happy to have this on launch day. Before work, I stopped by Best Buy. They seem to have a pretty decent number of units. The Best Buy that I stopped had over 50. Another local Best Buy had over 100 units. So I think a lot of people got their hands on this, which is really cool. And man, I have to tell you guys, the games that are loaded in this, I already own them in one way or another. Whether it's the physical cartridge, or whether it's the Virtual Console eShop release, or whether it's an Ambassador 3DS game, or whether it's a ROMs and emulators. You know, I have them all, really. But there's something about having this collectible that really just, you know, drew me over to make this purchase, and I'm really happy to have this. Just the nostalgia, you know, the trip down nostalgia lane was just fantastic. I absolutely love, you know, the way that the art and the presentation, it just looks like a product straight up from 1991. You know, they use the same patterns for the box and everything, and we have here the art of some of the games that are included in the system. And of course, you know, I was just blown away with how small the system is. This is just the cutest thing ever. And you know, the attention to detail, you know, when you hit the power button, it has like a very simple, it's basically the same feel of the original one. And then you have your reset button that's also operational, and then you can open this flap to put the controllers in. And I dug out my Super Nintendo out of the closet just to have a comparison. This is just insane. You know how small this thing is compared to the original one. But very happy to have this. Again, I already have all the games, but it's more of a, I guess, nostalgia type of purchase, and I'm very happy to get my hands on one. And hopefully Nintendo delivers on the promise that they're going to be widely available. I know they're sold out as of now, but supposedly they're going to have more frequent shipments with particular games. So very happy to have the Super Nintendo Classic in my collection. And looking forward to the NES Classic, which Nintendo announced that they're going to do a re-release or whatever. So hopefully I can get my hands on one, and you know, just to have, you know, the nostalgia collection, if you will. Now let's see. Oh, and along with that purchase, I also bought a 2-pack controller extension cables. From what I understand, the cables on the on the SNES Classic are a little bit longer than the NES Classic, but I still wanted to get the extension cables just to add a little bit more length to the controllers themselves. So this was only 10 bucks, so you know, doesn't hurt to have some extra length for the controllers. Now let's see. I have a couple more things here. Let's go with the Nintendo Force magazine. We're very heavy on the Nintendo products here. I got my Nintendo Force magazine on the mail as usual. This is a bi-monthly magazine. Pretty cool stuff as usual. And let's see, the poster has the Samus Return, obviously. There you go. For the 3DS. This is the new release. And then we have the Mario and Luigi Superstar poster on the other side, which is also coming out on the Nintendo 3DS. And another game that I want to get, but man, as I mentioned, guys, I can only keep up with so many of the new releases. But I will definitely get that remake for the Nintendo 3DS of Mario and Luigi. It looks just phenomenal. So pretty happy to have my Nintendo Force magazine on the mail. Pretty excited for that. And let's continue with the Nintendo products here. A YouTuber, his name is Random Mark, I think it's 3087 or something like that. He's subscribed to my channel, I'm subscribed to his. He does every now and then pickups videos, and one of his latest videos he was doing a collection. He was showing his collection of World Nintendo figures, which is something that I don't really collect. I'm more of a Amiibo type of guy, thankfully, because if I have to collect every Nintendo figure out there, I'll need my entire house basically to showcase all of them. However, through his videos, I noticed the Star Fox figures for World Nintendo, and I really like the Star Fox series. It's a series that doesn't get as much love as obviously the Marios, the Zelda, the Metroids. So I really wanted to get the figures for the World Nintendo Star Fox characters. So I pulled the trigger, and this is entirely Random Mark's fault here. Me pulling the trigger and getting these figures. We have Peppy Hair from the Star Fox, obviously, and he comes with like the super or the item box here. And these are larger than Amiibos, just for reference. They're a little bit larger. So that's Peppy Hair. We have Fox McCloud here, and he comes with the like a miniature R-Wing model. And then we have Sleepy Toad, and he comes with like the Nova Bomb item. And last but not least, Falco Lombardi. He's kind of like the rare figure, so that particular figure was already sold out. I was able to get all three of these through Toys R Us in their website normally, but the Falco Lombardi figure, I guess, is the low print run figure, so that's kind of rare, and it goes for higher prices on eBay, which I'm not really crazy about paying those prices. So hopefully it'll get some kind of reprint, or if you guys know of a place that has the Falco Lombardi figure in stock, let me know and I'll buy it. But pretty happy to have the three Star Fox characters, because it's like I said, it's not the most popular series out there, and I really like having stuff that relates to the Star Fox universe. Continuing with the Nintendo, I guess games. Best Buy, I think a couple of months ago, had a buy one game, get the second one 50% off. And of course, you guys know you have to take advantage of those deals, because Nintendo games, they hardly drop down in price, or it's pretty hard to see them on sale. So I took advantage to get two of the newer 3DS titles that were on my queue or my to purchase list. And I got the following two games. First of which is Yoshi's Woolly World. This is basically the Wii U game, but with added levels with Poochie the dog. Actually, the official name of the game is Poochie and Yoshi's Woolly World. So yeah, you get extra levels that star Poochie the dog. And yeah, I absolutely loved this game on the Wii U, and it was a no-brainer for me to get this game at one point or another. So pretty happy to finally pull the trigger. And I've been playing this on and off And of course, you know, the level design in this particular game is absolutely fantastic. So very happy to have the Yoshi Woolly World on the 3DS. Even though the graphics took a huge hit in terms of, you know, fidelity, and they're not as crisp as the Wii U version, of course, but happy to have this on my collection. And the second game I decided to get, you know, the half off game, is Mario Sports Superstars, which is a compilation of different sports games. You have baseball, soccer, horse racing, which is something new, and what else you get? Baseball, soccer, horse racing, and tennis, and golf. So a pretty interesting combination that comes very late into the 3DS life cycle. It would have been nice to get this early, but then again, if Nintendo releases this early on, nobody's going to buy the Mario Tennis games and the Mario Golf games. So I guess a business decision to release these at the very end of the 3DS life cycle, and a pretty fun game. The games are not as detailed or not as in-depth as their own games. Like, you know, the tennis version is not as good as the Mario Tennis game proper on the 3DS. So I do plan on doing a short impressions video on this, just because I had a good time with this, and it's a pretty decent option to own on the 3DS if you enjoy the Mario Sports titles. So pretty happy to get that for half off. And now we're going to move back to a different system. Let's go back to the Sony PlayStation products. I'm not really sure if I showed this before, but you know what? Why the hell not? I did get Overcooked on the PS4 to play this local co-op with my wife, and we were playing this and we were actually having a lot of fun. This is one of the best local, like, couch co-op games out there. It's really fun, and I highly recommend you guys playing this game, you know, with your friends or significant other or whatever. Very fun game, very addicting, and pretty happy to have this. This is a budget release. I think you can get this for under $20 on Amazon. So make sure you check this game out. It's a pretty fun couch co-op game to play with your friends. Speaking of budget games, I got Battleborn, which is a game that just got completely, I guess, destroyed and buried by Overwatch. These two games came out around the same time, you know, and Overwatch, of course, stole all the glory from this game. And if you guys want to play this game, if you guys have a Five Below store near you, check it out, because this game is $5, which is kind of sad and embarrassing at the same time. And I have a couple of Five Below stores around my area, and I have to tell you, this game is available at every one of them. And they have like tons and tons of Battleborn copies in there, like over 30 copies. The game is not selling even for $5, so I do feel bad for the developers. The game is supposed to be actually fun and decent, but of course it's not on par with the quality of Overwatch. The gameplay itself is a little bit different, and the goals of the games are a little bit different, but nevertheless, this game just got buried by the popularity of Overwatch, which is a shame. But I know other people here on YouTube got this game. I know Leo also bought the game for $5. You know, Leo the Funny Nerd, another YouTuber here. So maybe we're gonna give this a shot pretty soon, and I'll let you guys know if the game is actually that bad. But from what I've heard, it's actually a pretty decent game that just happened to be released at the wrong time. And the last game I have to show you guys, I was actually pretty excited. This is a game that became quote-unquote uncommon or rare, and they did a second print run basically of the game, of this particular SKU of the game. And I'm talking about Farpoint for the PS4. This is obviously compatible with the PlayStation VR. And what I have here is the bundle that comes with the light gun. And this particular bundle got sold out pretty quickly when it first came out, like over 6 months ago, I think. And I was pretty disappointed, because some of you guys know I got my PSVR not too long ago, and I really wanted to get this game just to experience, you know, using the light gun. It's more of an immersion thing, and thankfully they did a second print run of the game or whatever. And thankfully Best Buy had a restock, because through my Gamers Club Unlocked, I was able to get this for 20% off, which helped reduce the price. Obviously, this is the game plus the gun itself. I think it's like $80, but when you get your 20% discount, it comes down to something like 60 or something like that. But yeah, very happy to have this. Unfortunately, the game is very, well, for me at least, it's very like nauseating. Like I get dizzy pretty quickly. So far I think I only beaten 2 levels, and I'm taking like baby steps to play this game because it's very, like I said, it just makes me dizzy, and it's just uncomfortable playing this game for extended periods of time. So your results may vary. You guys may play this and not feel anything weird or anything like that. But pretty excited to have this. And the cool thing is that the light gun that comes included with this game. It's not only like for this particular game. There are other first-person shooters titles for PSVR that also make use of the gun. In fact, I have the gun right here. I'll show you guys. It's out of the box. Pretty cool. It has that, you know, that little plastic ball with the lights that is used by the camera for tracking. It has the trigger, obviously, and then it has the I don't know if you guys can see there, the joystick, and then your buttons, like, you know, the circle, square, triangle, X, home button, and everything. So pretty cool. It comes with like a charging thing, and yeah, it's actually pretty fun and pretty immersive to have the gun. It recognizes your movements and your aiming and things like that. So pretty fun experience that, unfortunately, like I said, I get motion sickness pretty quickly by playing this. So hopefully I improve on that and get to play this a little bit more often. But yeah, that's it for now. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this pickups video. And I guess I will see you all later in the next maybe 2 months. So take it easy.